Welcome to another enthralling episode of The Long Road to Ukraine, only on the Walkie-Talkie Traveller channel. I've just about still got my voice, but yeah, I can't promise how long it's going to last. Things have sort of stabilised for the last couple of days, at least they're not getting any worse. And I've been well enough to travel from Krakow this morning, or I should say this afternoon, to Przemysl at the border with Ukraine. A lot of people might come to Przemysl as the gateway city to Ukraine. Yes, now where was I? That's right, a lot of people might come here and pass straight through, go on to the border itself and beyond if they were inclined to enter Ukraine. However, I'm staying the night. Oh, I was on a train from Krakow to Przemysl, and the train's called Mechhofa. Previous train from Warsaw down to Krakow was called something like Kolberg, I think, which sounds like a brand of a beer, doesn't it? Mind you, it also looks a bit like Kowobrzeg. Yes, that's the actual tiny Old Town Square centre up there, and that's also the location of the place, kind of, where I stayed before, which was also a sort of institutional style Polish, what's the word for it? Schronisko. Youth hostel, basically. I'm feeling a few spots of rain, so I'm a little bit cautious right now. But hopefully that will pass. Please. The train today was called Mechhofa, as in, I presume, Josef Mechhofa, the great artist from more than 100 years ago. And I was looking at the readout, which kept flowing across the screen. You know, that kind of thing. What's it called? LED? And they had the different stops which were coming up and the times of arrival. And everything was looking absolutely fine until I noticed, and I noticed quite early on, the anticipated time to arrive at Przemysl Główny was not in fact the time on my ticket. My time on my ticket was 3 hours after departure. So, in other words, it was around about 4:30 in the afternoon. However, the LED readout showed it was going to be 10:30 in the evening, and I just began to feel a little uncomfortable. Could I find that hostel at 10:30 in the evening? Well, I did find it in darkness on a winter's night, to be fair, all those years ago, so maybe. The answer is maybe. However, I didn't really want to be stuck on the train until, 6 hours longer than I needed to be. But I was also thinking, well, perhaps there is something going on because of the war. I cannot imagine what, but something which would cause a 6-hour delay in the last 50 kilometres of the rail track. The end of the story was a happy one because the train arrived just a little bit late, something like about 22, quarter to 5. And everything is going almost too well again. Even the rain stopped. And now I'm coming to, I guess, one way or the other, the bridge. Not got my bearings at all here. Just wound my way round in a circle, and oh dear, a honey bear. Poor bear. Poor Hillary. No, Pan Hillary. Don't know what that means. Anyway, is there a river over there? Is that a bridge to go over the river, or is that going to be a bridge to go over the river? Which way do I want to go? I want to go on 3 Maya, don't I? So I really can't tell. I don't think that goes over a river. Maybe this is 3 Maya. No, this is Jagiellonska. So I need to continue here. Yes. Right. I'll pretend I sound confident. I won't feel confident until I've seen the bridge going over the river, and then I'll know I'm on the exact right track. There's a National Museum over there, which I can't quite read what it's about. Perhaps it's the City Museum. It's an ugly looking building, isn't it, for goodness sake? But the contents might be excellent, so don't judge it until you've been in, you old fool, is what I hear you saying. Oh dear, now we've got a little bit of that drizzle coming back. Should I put the camera away? I think it might be prudent. Aha, now that looks more like a bridge over a river. Let's get closer. Now, I've crossed the bridge and I need to make sure I go straight up and not accidentally go left, because that would be a bit of a disaster. It's 3 Maya I want, and here is the hostel right here. So there's a Biedronka around about where the post office is, so I can stop in there for a couple of snacks, and then I have to go up here and get a bit kinky, I'm afraid. First of all, I'm just going to get a slightly closer look at this column monument with statue. There's actually a bit of a gap. There's going to be a gap in my footage in Przemysl in this specific video, but it shouldn't affect anything too drastically. I was approached by a couple of uniformed policemen, Polish guys, very pleasant, very amiable, but they just pointed out I shouldn't be filming something, so I needed to delete what I had filmed of that area, so I deleted it, and that's why I'm not going to have it for posterity, and you're not going to see it either. Far more important to make sure we adhere to the necessary security rules than to just get a charming footage of a few seconds of something which caught my eye. If it has some potential importance with regard to the war in Ukraine, I am the last person who wants to do anything to undermine the security of both Poland and Ukraine. This is mentioning Lvów. I'm going to Lviv tomorrow, and in Polish it's spelled this way, Lvów, pronounced Lvów. And these were the goings on in 1918. And these are about the goings on in 1863. While we might stab wildly in the dark guessing what the 1918 references to, 1863. I'm completely ignorant, I don't know about you. Shame on me. 1830. I'm guessing these are all turning points in history in this region of what's been Poland, what's been Ukraine, what's been fought over by Germans and Russians and Poles and Ukrainians for hundreds and hundreds of years. 1794. I'm lingering on these because they really are attractive, I think. 1655 to 1660. (1939) all the way up to 2003. I bet you wish you learnt Polish at school, don't you? Ah, something I can actually understand. Monte Casino. My dad was there in the Second World War. Watched the friendly fire killing of the Commonwealth troops by the Allied Air Force. Don't know if that's mentioned much in Britain's version of history and regarding the invasion of Italy. Okay, I really shouldn't be distracted like this, but I'm glad I did come here and look. It's, even though I don't understand much, it really is fine artistry and does make you want to read more. But the weight on my back is not getting any lighter. I'm sweating like a hog. I definitely need to find the place where I'm staying tonight. Therefore, I need to pull myself away, pull myself up, pull my trousers up, pull myself together, and press on. Evidently on the 17th of June or July, it was the European Day of Archaeology. Something was going on at the rotunda of the St. Mikołaj Basilica here in Przemysl, and I missed. Unfortunately, I wasn't anywhere and aware that there was an archaeological day with some special events going on to mark it. I wonder where I was. However, lots to see and do here. There's a Cold War shelter, a Molotov line bunker. What else was there? There's museums here. There's a castle here in Przemysl as well. And I have to admit, on the train coming down here, I was thinking, it just hit me, why on earth didn't you book 2 nights? Why did you only book 1 night? You could have enjoyed a bit of a slower, relaxing pace and got to film more, maybe go in and see more, depending what was available, instead of just 1 night and straight over to Ukraine. But it means, as I've been telling myself, I think for a very good number of years since my first visit to Przemysl, I really must do more than just pass through the town, because although I did stay overnight twice here in the past, there have been other occasions when I've just passed through, because I've come here, come down from Warsaw, I suppose, I think more than from Krakow, and gone straight over the border. Sorry about that, there's an ant invasion on my camera, so I thought I'd better get rid of that ant. And now I've got to look out for that Biedronka food market. This is 3 Maya Street, isn't it? I'm sure it must be. But I'm still looking for a little road sign. Yes, it is 3 Maya. I see it across the road. Oh, looks like a second-hand shop. No, gotta resist the temptation to go into second-hand shops. God knows I'm carrying too much as it is. bit of a hike, but Biedronka's got to be coming soon, I think. I reckon it's in here, don't you? And then it's just past there. Turn off left, be able to get in, put my feet up and relax a bit. And I bet everybody who rode that train from Krakow to Przemysl thought exactly the same thing as they were approaching their homes or their hotels just this evening. It's funny, we've been sat on a train for 3 hours. The first thing we want to do is get to a place where we can put our feet up. Because it can be exhausting when you're just sitting on a train, can't it? Makes no sense at all. Dom Handlover, is there a Biedronka in here? There is. Right, better turn the camera off. What you might need to know is there is a Biedronka little supermarket in there, but a bit tricky to find. You've actually got to walk through the dry cleaning shop and then you can access the Biedronka. Is this street coming up something like SW Jana near something or other? I think it is, you know. I think it is. I see a green man, so I can cross. I can also see up here, bit of detective work, SW Jana. That'll do for me. That's what I remembered from the map. Therefore, my turning is the next one left. You see, I'm not as forgetful or stupid as I thought I was. Therefore, we do take this next left turning. And you may remember me saying, I think I will need to get a bit kinky because the path, well, from Google Maps it wasn't clear, but clearly there's this whacking girt building here and there's a little path after it, I'm presuming, because it can't be that, or can it be that path? No, I don't think it's that path. I think it must be the next path. You know, on balance, thinking back to the hostel I've just left, I had some considerable reservations on the first day. Wasn't 100% sure on the second day, but when it came to it, it worked out pretty well, you know. Yes, I would stay there again. Another time it might be horrendous, but it wouldn't be the hostel's fault, I don't think. It would just be me being in a bad mood or somebody being a rogue guest who would cause perhaps a problem. But no, it worked out rather well in the end. I'm probably saying that because I met such nice people there. A lot of very nice people. If you're watching, Norman, and if you're watching also our friend from India, and also the lady who was going to Zakopane from Poznan, and also the ladies, the 3 girls from the Netherlands, and the young Australian genius who'd been at space camp in Alabama. Those are just some of the folks. Then there's the lady from Taiwan who I was chatting to last night for a little bit. A lot of very nice and interesting guests who were really well travelled, I would say. So now I'm in the vicinity of this place and I've got a door code. I just need to see a sign that it is actually the youth hostel, and the presence of youths makes me think it probably is. Plus a keypad, but it doesn't have the symbol I was expecting. Well, I was almost about to embarrass myself by trying to get into a building which wasn't the Schronisko. Fortunately, it was a case of me noticing that there was actually a symbol which I need to insert using the code. Ah, okay, now I'm seeing the entrance. Yes, sorry, there was a symbol I need to tap into the code along with some numbers to access the building. However, that symbol was missing from the keypad on that building where I was just standing over there. So the presence of young people over there was a red herring, but kindly. This always happens to me in Poland. One of the young guys spoke English and came to me offering help, and he's pointed out, this is where I need to be going. How on earth did I find this in the dark on a winter's night? But I promise I did, all those years ago. Flipping heck. The adventures I must have had, and the adventures I'm still having.